A message from the Clerk of Cleveland Municipal Court.
Are you in a dispute with someone involving $3,000 or less? The Cleveland Municipal Court can provide an easy way to resolve financial disputes among individuals or businesses in the city of Cleveland. A nominal filing fee allows you to present your dispute without the need of an attorney or a long court procedure. We're here to help you resolve your disputes. For more information on how to file a claim, call 664-4860 or visit our website.
Our 61st graduation, and as you know, we have been here for 20 years, and we are going to be celebrating our 20 years of graduations later on this year. So great. I'm glad to see that you all are here, and there should be more of you here, but I'm glad to see you, those who are here. I'm glad to see that you have brought your family, your friends, and so we're going to get started. So we have a keynote speaker. Many of you might know our keynote speaker. I know she is my right hand when it comes to running this drug court, and I'm sure she has some great words of wisdom, and that she will be very inspiring and motivating. So without further ado, Latoria.
I'm going to be brief. So I just want to talk a little bit about why my work with the Greater Cleveland Drug Court is personal for me. So I grew up here. I was born and raised in Cleveland. Grew up on St. Clair, East Cleveland, probably all the hoods. I graduated from Collinwood High School, and I was the first in my family to attend college. I attended Youngstown State University, where I earned a bachelor's degree in forensic science. And then my career began in education shortly after graduating. My very first position out of college was as an academic coach at the Youngstown Early College. And there I fell in love with connecting with young people. I was just completely enamored by their resilience, especially those children who came from similar backgrounds as I did. And I went on to teach at an after-school program after that, and I moved into higher education. I've also done some nonprofit work, directing programs, and even became an assistant principal. Then I decided to go back to school to get my master's degree, although my little brother beat me to that one. I was thrilled when I was accepted into an Ivy League school and packed up and moved to Philly and attended the University of Pennsylvania, where I earned a master's degree in higher education. And a few months after graduation, I was hired as the drug court coordinator. So all of that sounds all great, kind of sounds even like I was tooting my own horn, but that's my surface resume. You know, those are the things that you say when someone says, Tori, tell me a little bit about you. But some of the things that I did not mention was that I was born to teenage parents, both of whom dropped out of high school after I was born. I didn't mention that my father was a victim of the crack epidemic and that my mother was very close to being a victim because she admitted that she had tried it a couple times, and thank the Lord she didn't like it because, things could have been even worse than they were. By the time my parents were 21, they had already had 3 kids, and my father started doing brief, what some folks consider brief, even 5 minutes in jail for me is too much, but brief stints in and out of jail for, drug-related crimes. He'd come home, and my mom would receive him with open arms, and we would receive him because he was our dad. We gladly accepted him back home. I also didn't mention that my mom only made $5.25 to take care of 3 children. I didn't mention that we had times where our lights were turned off, gas was turned off, or I had to live with a grandparent because, we stayed evicted, moving from place to place. And trust me, none of that is to say anything negative about my mom because she is my hero, and she has done, with the hand that she was dealt, she did a damn good job raising us. I also didn't mention that our house had been shot up a couple times because of my father owing money to drug dealers, or that they would come to the house, drag them out, beat them up in front of us, to the point where my mom was throwing money at them for them to leave him alone. I didn't mention that my father has stolen from us Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, borrowed our birthday money. I also didn't mention that my father was shot twice in the head, right between his eyes, and was in a coma for a few months. And by the grace of God, he survived that ordeal, only to return back to using afterwards. Only now he was partially paralyzed on his left side and had frequent seizures. I didn't express that when my mom finally had the courage to leave him, that I was angry. I was pissed because regardless of everything he had done, he was our dad. He was my dad. And my mom was the one who always worked, so Dad stayed home with us. I didn't mention that after that I started acting out. I got into a lot of trouble. I mean, a lot. Fighting, and I even got into a lot of legal trouble in 9th grade. I was suspended over 15 times in the 8th grade. And that was with me being in honors classes. I still was just terrible. Even in college, I had my let's just call them issues. So it wasn't until I was forced to deal with my pain and the trauma that I experienced as a child that I was able to commit to being a productive adult. And if I'm being completely honest, it was becoming a mother that made me realize I had to change my entire program because I had these little people now depending on me. And I don't say all that to get any type of sympathy because my story is not unique and it is not as bad as a lot of kids that I grew up with or cousins that I grew up with. It happened every day. It was so normalized that until I got to college, I didn't know life was different. But I say all that to say that you do not have to look like what you've been through. Absolutely not. You do not have to look like what you've been through. Your past or your pedigree does not determine your outcome or where you will go or your direction. And don't misconstrue my message. In no way am I saying disown those experiences because, in fact, I keep mine with me every day. Firstly, to humble me and also to motivate me. And so who we are is determined by how we allow the sum of our experiences to dictate our actions. Our negative experiences can empower or devour us. We can choose to use our past as excuses, as I did for the majority of my life, being angry at everybody, fighting everybody, or we can choose to use our experiences to elevate and empower us. So today I urge you all to choose to be empowered. I'm proud of you all. You deserve to be celebrated. But just remember, the work does not stop here. I've never been an addict, but I'm still constantly working on myself. Sometimes, even here, I'm still biting my tongue until it bleeds so that I don't say or do the wrong thing. But make a commitment to yourself to choose life, to choose empowerment, and to choose freedom. You owe that much to yourself. And I wish you all peace and blessings.
Thank you.
I just love it. She is such a wonderful example of someone who just transcended their circumstances. So I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who can do the same or who have done the same or know someone who has done the same. And I'm just so glad that she's here. I think that she does a wonderful job with this drug court. And I also think that her right hand, Devin Gamble, does a good job having this, just getting this drug court, and of course Kevin McGlynn. So these are the three people that keep it going. So let's give them a hand. Now we want all of you to know that we are here if you need us, and that there are we have programs, we have aftercare programs, we have the alumni groups. Please reach out. There's a lot of sober activities out there. We want you to be a blessing to everybody else. People look to you and your stories in order to keep themselves sober. So you are you give hope to a lot of people who are going through what you've been through. So we want you to, if you're having problems, you're struggling, please reach out because we don't want to see anybody falter. And we are here. And more counseling is here, and CATS, and we're all here. And we want to make sure that everybody has a long, sober life.
All right.
Okay?
All
All right, come on.
All right, so just a real quick announcement. Those of you who are graduating, you know we have the bowling party next week. You all are still welcome to come. We would love to see you there. And also for those of you who are still participants, we have a sign-up sheet for the gardening, the beautification project. We will be planting a garden for the Cleveland Public Library East Branch on 131st, and so you'll get all that information. If you put your name, we only need about 15 people. So about 15 people, and you all can come too for the graduates. You all can come and volunteer for that as well. But we need at least 15 people to sign up. That's aside from the people who are mandated. So 15 more people. And then we have, oh yeah, that's it. And that's all in celebration of National Drug Court Month, which is always in the month of May. That's all.
All right, so I know Tori got a lot of good food back there, but we do want to acknowledge other people. You've heard people call out certain people, say, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we want to make sure that you all know who they are, but everybody might not know who everyone is. So we want to acknowledge them. So come up if you hear your name.
Yeah. Special.
Oh, okay. Is Phil Cole here? Phil's not here. I think Mike is not here. Let me see, who is here?
Kevin.
Kevin is here. Kevin McGlenn. Where are you, Kevin? He's very modest, but he's so helpful. Very, very helpful.
So we wanted to shout out Phil Cole because he has worked with the drug court for a number of years. He has moved on to a different position and he will no longer be working with us. But the time and effort that he has put in over the years has been invaluable. Also, Mike Graves, I know you all know who he is, but he does a lot of work behind the scenes that should be appreciated and recognized. And then, of course, Kevin, he does, you all don't even know how many times he saves me. He does so much, and he helps out a lot. And also Devin as well. I know she's newly back, but she does so much as well and is very helpful. So it really is a collective effort for a drug court to run the way that it runs. So I just want to recognize people, let them know that I appreciate all of their help.
All right. And also, people from Moore Counseling, you want to raise your hand or come up so people can see you, because you all do all the heavy lifting. When everyone else is just sitting around, and you all are really the person that people look out to, reach out to. So Emily, who's from Moore Counseling, have you all come on up so we can see you. People from Nora, come on up. Center Point, where's Sharon? Cats. We have our recovery coaches. If you're a recovery coach, come up. We have our prosecutor, he was here, Mr. Torres. And anybody else who is part of this process, could you come up? Kevin Berman, our public defender. We now have a public defender who's permanent. And we appreciate him. And Ann, also from the public defender's office. And is there anybody else?
Our bailiff's back there.
All our bailiffs and our apprehension team. Oh, Miss Ivory from East Cleveland, because you had a graduate. Come on up. And Flash always takes all the pictures and everything, so nobody ever acknowledges him, but he's always very helpful.
We also have Molly here from Rocky River.
Oh, Molly? Where's Molly? I haven't seen Molly in months. Hi, Molly. Come on up. And Cheryl Martin, come on up.
And Mr. Carmen from Representative Martin Fudge's office.
Oh, absolutely. Also on our advisory board. So these are the people.
John Carroll, our people who evaluates our HEAT program.
Who did you say?
John Carroll.
Oh yes, please, Judge. The John Carroll evaluators, come on up. Because it takes this whole village to make this happen. This whole village. So everybody has a part. Everybody has a role. And so you can eyeball all these people. So you say, who's the drug court? It's not just me. It's not just Tori, but it's all these people. And so I just want to publicly thank everybody for doing everything that you do, because you all do a lot. And I know it's behind the scenes. And so people don't think that it's appreciated, but it is. And so thank you. We appreciate you, and please continue doing what you're doing and being an inspiration and a help to everybody going through this process. Thank you. Can we give them all a round of applause? Okay, anything else, Tori?
So we usually hand out your gifts while we're giving you your certificates. We forgot. So before you go get your food, if you could just come up and so you all can get your gifts.
And they're nice gifts, so make sure that you get them. And so this concludes our 61st graduation. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of it. Good luck to our graduates.
Thank you.
And let us know if you are in need of anything.
For a videotape copy of this episode, call 664-3571 with the following information on your TV screen.